with us tonight. He is our 22nd, the CIJR Gala 22nd anniversary keynote speaker. He is the Wall Street Journal's remarkable foreign affairs editor. And Bret joined it. Some people don't know this, but Bret joined the Wall Street Journal after a 2-year stint as editor of the Jerusalem Post. And he was the youngest editor in the history, and still is, of the Post. He was 28 when he took on that task, which is quite remarkable. He was born in Mexico City and educated at the University of Chicago and the London School of Economics. He is a key contributor on foreign affairs through Commentary magazine. He was winner in 2008 of the Eric Grindel Award for Excellence in Journalism, which award was named after the outstanding and brilliant New York Post journalist, Eric Grindel, who tragically died very young. Most of us here are familiar with his work, with his brilliant and incisive and hard-hitting foreign policy analyses in the Journal, but also in Commentary, in our own National Post newspaper, Canada's only decent newspaper, and in a number of other important sources. I'm proud to say that CIJR has also circulated his work, and we did so this week. The recent commentary piece, which is a wide-ranging and very hard-nosed analysis of the situation in Iran, and it's an article that hovered over today's morning discussions because of the kind of line that Bret takes, which I'm sure you'll hear about in a moment. We also ran this week, he probably doesn't know this, but yeah, we run his pieces, we steal them from the Journal and elsewhere, and run them in our Israelfax magazine. I shouldn't tell them this. And we also ran this week, as part of our Iran Week series in the daily email briefing, quite a wonderful YouTube video of his advice on how to deal with delegitimization of Israel on campus. 14 points, was it? 14 points. I advise all of you to go to our website and click on the video, which we're carrying there, and listen to Bret. In the article that hovered over our meetings, he argues that once sanctions and deterrents have failed vis-a-vis a radical Shiite Iran, which is acquiring nuclear capacity, then post facto containment of Iran really doesn't make very much sense. But I'll leave that to him to detail. And we're very privileged to have him with us tonight because he broke into his own summer vacation to come up and be with us, and we're indebted to him for that. Given the increasingly difficult historical moment that we Israelis, we the Jewish people, and the West in general is living, I'm sure we all look forward to hearing Bret Stephens' latest perspective on possible future outcomes. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are at this conference, we are at this dinner to discuss Israel, the United States, and the Iranian nuclear threat. And as Professor Krantz mentioned, I have a lengthy essay in the current issue of Commentary magazine, where I argue why I believe Iran cannot be contained, as a great many self-described foreign policy realists seem to believe, and that a nuclear Iran would provoke a cascade of crises stretching on for many years and well beyond the borders of the Middle East. And tonight, I do not intend to rehearse the arguments that I made there. Nor do I intend to make the case, although it is my belief, that a military strike on Iran's nuclear facilities is in all likelihood the only practicable way by which Iran's nuclear ambition may now be blocked. The strategic and tactical issues, I believe, have been well covered in your panel sessions today. I also do not want to spend my time, the bulk of my time, reprising the catalog of Mahmoud Ahmadinejad's Holocaust denials or his calls to wipe Israel off the map. Nor do I want to rehearse here the general failure so far and probably going forward of the West to confront the Iranian regime and all that it represents in any meaningful way. We are all familiar with the state of play. And what that state of play boils down to is that as Iran has become more intransigent, as its rhetoric has become more strident, as its methods have become more nakedly brutal, as its nuclear bid has come closer to fruition, the West has only become more pliant, more indifferent, more feckless, and more resigned to living with a nuclear Iran. So the real question is, why is this happening? How is it that, in the face of Iran's extreme and aggressive illiberalism, so many Western liberals seem to be so befuddled and helpless to mount a coherent intellectual counterattack? Indeed, why is it that more than a few self-described liberals have all but allowed themselves to become accomplices, usually unwittingly, but sometimes not, in furthering Iran's ambitions? At the same time, we must also ask ourselves, how is it that Israel, the routine object of Ahmadinejad's annihilatory threats, is routinely portrayed as the Middle East's principal provocateur? These seem to me to be the most profound questions. Questions not of tactics or strategy, nor of politics or morality, but of psychology and philosophy. These are the questions to which we most urgently need answers if we are to confront not just the strategic and political challenge of Iran, but the moral challenge of a new anti-Semitism at which Iran stands at the vanguard. To find the answers, what I think is needed is an understanding of what you might call the mechanics or the methodologies of demonization.